Oh, my God. I'm in a much better place with Paul than I was yesterday. Yesterday, things between Paul and I were not great. Today, they're a little better. I left the studio yesterday. These headphones suck. I left the studio yesterday, and I can't tell if it's the microphone or the headphones. Can you tell me if my mic sounds like shit? When I was leaving the studio, I got confronted by the same exact people. Sound good, Paul?
Yep.
Great. I was confronted by the same exact people that I was talking about yesterday. The, hey, you dropped your smile people. Remember Paul was giving us tips on what they tell him and what the answers were and stuff? And the lady asked me, she said, "Excuse me, sir, what's the only state that ends in the letter K?" And I looked back at her and I said, "The one we're in." I knew it was the answer because Paul told me. She said, "Nobody ever gets that." And I kept walking. I said, "Well, guess what? Primetime Sam Roberts gets it, and he gets it every single time." So much going on today. Guy Pearce is going to be here in a little bit. Jackie Miranne is going to be here a little bit after that. Jackie Miranne, of course, you know her from VH1's Big Morning Buzz. She was also in studio last week with Jim Norton. So a lot to do. A lot to do today. I feel bad for these prison escapees. I know one of them's a murderer with a giant penis. I understand. You're not supposed to escape prison and everything, but I really feel like, and by the way, if you want to call the show, you know the number to call. Sam Roberts Show is 866-969-1969. That's 866-969-1969. Call Sam Roberts Show right now. You can get yourself on the air. You can also follow us on Twitter at SRShowSXM. But if you want to hear my voice directly, it's 866-969-1969. Now, I will tell you this. I've been following the coverage, as everybody has. There's all this breaking news all the time of these prisoners that escaped. I guess now a cab driver is gonna rat on them and give them up to the fuzz, as it were. That's the language I use because I'm one of those hip guys that grew up in the streets. I guess a cab driver is going to give them up, and I don't know. All the news channels say they're very close to being caught. I really feel like, and I felt like this, I mean, this is probably based on the fact that I watch a lot of movies, but I really strongly feel like this is one of those situations where if you can get away with it, you should just be able to get away with it. If you can escape a prison, nobody escapes prison. That's why it's prison. It's jail. There's locks and cement and steel bars and everybody's wearing stripes and funny hats. I've seen them before. Everybody looks like the Hamburglar. Nobody can escape jail. I really feel like if two guys can put their brains together in a world where, let's face it, jail is worse than high school. There is nothing going on inside jail. And yes, I am an authority on prison life. I've watched every season of Oz multiple times. But mindless drama and problems and everybody's business, all that news spreads like wildfire in jail because everybody's so bored. There's nothing to do. Remember in high school? In high school, you had to go to high school. You had to be there every day. Nothing you could do about it, right? So what happened? You'd go, and anytime anybody had any kind of juicy news, you'd go and tell everybody. Now, what if you couldn't go home from high school? Not like a boarding school, but like jail. Okay? And you were stuck in this penitentiary where nobody can get out. Of course you're going to start gossiping. Of course you're going to tell everybody. Hey, Paul, Adrian says the pad data says accelerated. Yeah. You are not doing well today. Adrian is laughing his ass off back at the studio. You are very overwhelmed, Paul. I'm noticing it. You're very overwhelmed. He's saying no, but I think he is. He's fixing this, commercials launching. He doesn't know what's happening. He's trying to get the phones to work. I'll pick him up anyway. 866-969-1969 is the phone number to call. But news spreads like wildfire in jail. Anytime anybody's got a plan in jail, everybody finds out about it. If you can, just being able to have a secret plan that nobody finds out about in jail should mean you get a reward. If you can effectively get out of prison, if you can escape in 2015 when they have all the technology in the world, if you can use power tools to escape a maximum security prison, and have the lady that's supposed to be picking you up not even show up and still manage to escape, still manage to get out of there? Wow. I feel like you've earned your freedom. If anybody's earned their freedom, it's these guys. At some point, you just have to say, you know what? It's all you, boy. It's all you. Let's go to, let's try 619. You're on the show.
Is this Sean?
This is Sam Roberts.
Hey, no, this is Sean.
Hey, what's going on, Sean?
I was calling to get your opinion on Doink the Clown.
Doink the Clown, great clown, average wrestler. Let's go to 575. You're on the air.
This is Duffy from New Mexico.
What's going on, Duffy?
Oh man, good. You had a little dead air. And, you had a little music playing there from like 3 minutes before until like 2 minutes.
Listen,
before.
I don't know what Paul...
Like right on.
Because Paul is sitting here, he masturbates like a monkey instead of getting anything ready for the show. He just sits in the corner masturbating, and I just have to kick him and swat him with newspapers every day. He's completely in over his head.
One hand, it's tough.
Yeah.
You only got one hand, it's tough.
That's right. I'm going to cut it off.
Sammy Brand Muffins, you have an amazing show, brother. You have a good day.
Thanks, buddy. Let's go. He was just calling to rat out Paul. Let's go to 603. What's going on?
Hey, this is Steve from Massachusetts. I work in a prison.
Yeah.
And it's always the same MO. It's always the women that fall for it. Usually fat white women.
Is it always fat white women that do it?
Every time.
That's so funny. Don't you think, though, that, like, it's so rare for any of these prisoners to figure out how to pull the whole thing off? If you can pull off a full prison escape to the point that you are out of there and it's been days, don't you think you've kind of earned it?
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to put in.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to escape from prison and to have nobody else find out about it and to have nobody else ratting on you. I mean, maybe it's because I've watched Shawshank too many times and I'm like, you go, Andy. You go and you get what you deserve.
It's just these guys just listening to these women that work there and their dumb stories all day long. Sooner or later, they just snap.
Yeah, these two guys have to charm this big fat woman and sit there and listen to her talk and listen to her talk and listen to her talk just to sneak some power tools in. They've earned it. They've earned it. Let's go to 443. You're on the air.
Sammy Brand Muffins.
That's right.
Hey, can we talk about Paul for a second?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. He's not. I gave him the benefit of a doubt. I told you at the top of the show, he made me feel better after the show when I confronted that lady on the street and I knew the answer to her question. But technically, he's just not ready to go again today.
But here's the thing. I mean, he is under the mentorship of one of the greatest producers to ever grace our airwaves. I mean, why can you not get him under your wing and get him up to snuff?
Because I can't produce a show that I'm hosting. I can't. What am I? I'm only one man. I'm not Vishnu. I only have two arms, okay? I have to do this part. I have to come up with the content. I have to host the show. I'm running the board over here. I'm playing the little things.
Thinking you were primetime Sam Roberts.
You know what?
I thought you were the guy. That's all. That's all I want to say. Let's get Paul out of there. Let's get somebody that knows that. Let's do it.
Maybe you're right. I got to watch that Shia LaBeouf inspirational video again. 302, you're on the air.
Sam Roberts, a professional broadcaster as well as a journalist. Is there any replays on your show, Sam?
Larry, there are no replays yet, but the show is available on demand.
Well, I understand the on demand, but being a quasi-Luddite with no web access, I beg, plead, wheedle, and cry out for a Sam Roberts replay. Oh, and by the way, when they catch these guys, the problem with our justice system is that there really is truly not enough punishment for crime. Don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time.
Well, the best part about doing a crime is getting away with it. That's like saying don't cheat on a test if you don't want to get busted. The reason you cheat on a test is so you can get an A or a B. That's what I always did. If I cheated on a test, you go for a B. That way nobody's suspicious. I didn't cheat on a test. If I did cheat on a test and got caught, then I'd do anything I can to weasel my way out of it. And if I could weasel my way out of it, then I felt like I deserved that grade. Maybe I didn't go the traditional route, but I worked for it, goddammit. And I feel like these prisoners, maybe they are running across upstate New York somewhere, but the fact that we can't find them, maybe, just maybe, they've earned it. 309, you're on the air.
Sammy.
What's up, pal?
Hey, at what point during when you were on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, you just sit there and go, "Holy shit! I'm just sitting here shooting the shit with Steve Austin."
Dude, I had that moment earlier this morning when somebody texted or tweeted Stone Cold and asked him why he would have me on his podcast. And Stone Cold Steve Austin went to the trouble to reply to him that Sam likes French fries and fried chicken. He seems okay in my book. I was like, what the fuck?
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Good for you. I would have been shitting myself the whole time I was sitting there, honestly. So good on you.
It was incredible. It was like an out-of-body experience. Let's go to 828. You're on the air.
Hey, Sammy.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how come Bennington's in Vista today?
Well, because they know what's good for him. Let's go to the big 316. What's going on?
Hey, it's Jake from Iowa. How's it going, Sam?
How you doing, pal?
Hey, doing pretty good. Great show.
Thank you.
I totally agree with you that these prisoners need to be just released and gone. Back in France, when they used the guillotine, if you got away from the guillotine while you were being executed, you were let go and let free.
Yeah, I mean, the punishment for escaping prison, if you escape from a prison, the punishment should not go to the people who escaped the prison. The punishment should go to the people that allowed the criminals to escape from prison. Now, here's what I think. We determine exactly, you take this big fat woman that helped them, but you figure out everybody responsible for the fact that these criminals are now on the street, and everybody responsible for the fact that they're on the street are the ones that should be serving their time. Not those guys. Those guys earned it. They figured it out. They one-upped the system. The creators of the system are the ones that should be punished.
This is going to go down as an Alcatraz-type escape. I think if they aren't caught, it's going to be a made-for-movie TV, and it's going to be great.
Dude, not only are they not going to get caught, they're hanging out with D.B. Cooper somewhere, just spending as much money as you could ever imagine.
Well, they start looking for them in Washington State instead of upstate New York, I guess.
All right, buddy, I'll talk to you later. We will go to 208. You're on Sam Roberts' show. You there? All right, well, I'm going to go to 505. You're on Sam Roberts' show. I hear you. Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I've worked in a prison, and it was the biggest, fattest, ugliest medical person that helped the guy escape.
So you worked at a prison where somebody escaped?
Yeah. Well, but the fact that the helper was the ugliest woman I'd ever seen in my life, but he was apparently at some point doing her, and having his way with her. And then when they found them, she ratted him out. She's the one that told on where he was at because he dumped her like a hot, ugly potato.
Well, of course he did, because now not only does he not need her, but she's not being compared. When you're in prison, you're comparing these big fat women to other men, so they don't look so bad. Once you get out and you're like, I'm out of jail, look at all these hot chicks that are just walking around the street.
Exactly.
You don't have access to any of them. Thanks, buddy. Let's go to 216. You're on the air.
Sammy Brand Muffins.
What's going on?
Hey, if they catch these guys, they should fucking let them intern for you guys, because Paul fucking sucks dick.
Look, I am ready. First of all, if they do, I don't want the big dick one in here. I want the small dick prisoner. Because, these prisoners, they escaped. As it turned out, one of them is very well endowed. The lady, one of the female prison workers, helped them escape with power tools and everything. It's this incredible story. It's going to make an amazing movie. But yes, Paul, the little dick prisoner that escaped would do a better job of putting this together than you. Do you know that? You should know that. Know that in your soul, okay? I want you to go home tonight realizing that if I found the escaped convict, not only would I not tell the police, but I'd ask him if he wanted a job, and I would give him your job. I want you to go home knowing that, okay?
See ya, Paul.
That's right. If I can find those escaped convicts, they're in here, and they're producing Sam Roberts' show tomorrow. I'm going to have Guy Pearce and Jackie Miranne in here. This thing better be up to snuff by the time they get here, because this is ridiculous. 646.
Hey, Sam.
Hey.
This scenario, hello. Nobody I haven't heard this scenario, but I'm thinking about this. What if part of the plan was leave a getaway car with supplies in the trunk? The fat chick goes to the hospital and says, I was there, now they're on foot. So now you get the fucking cops looking in the area for guys on foot. They fucking drove down the interstate, had a 5-hour head start. They're in fucking Texas by now.
Oh, that's so badass if that's the way they did it. If that's the way they did it.
Who is looking to listen to the radio reports? Oh, we got and then people, there was a report like 30 miles near the southeast, near the Vermont border that turned out to be, I saw these two guys in a rainstorm. Turned out to be not true. So somebody could be making fake phone calls covering these guys' asses. So they keep giving these cops to run around and wild goose chase. Now these guys are driving. Nobody's expecting in other states because everybody's listening to the reports. Oh, they're on foot in New York State. It's nowhere near this area.
And what are
you got a car, you got money, you got full of gas, you got wigs, you got fucking shave kits, you changed your appearance, your clothes.
You've thought about this. You've thought about this a lot.
I helped them plan it.
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds? Thanks, buddy. What are the odds that they actually got in a cab? A cab driver is the one who's like, you know what? I think I saw them. I think I know who they are. If you escape from jail, your first move is to be like, yeah, here's what we'll do. All right. Well, I'm going to fuck this fat girl. Don't worry. I got a big dick. It's going to be great. She's going to love it. I'm going to have sex with this fat woman. I'm going to make her fall in love with me and my giant penis, right? Then I'm going to get some power tools from her, okay? Then we're going to wait until it's daylight. And I'm going to drill through the walls in my cell when nobody's looking. We're going to use them. We're going to make a hole. I'm going to climb out the pipes and get through and go under the prison and go upwards, downwards, around. Finally, I'm going to get out a manhole. And then, well, what are we going to do when we get out the manhole? I don't know. We'll hail a cab. We'll just grab a cab or something. Maybe I'll Uber from there. I don't know. If you're going to escape from prison, you got to have a better plan than a cab. 586.
Hey, Sammy, it's Jason from Detroit.
What's up, pal?
With all your problems with Paul, I think the perfect answer to all this problem is you need to hire intern David.
Listen, intern David never let me down once, Paul. Intern David, when he was my intern on Opie's show, he never let me down. He always had a segment for me. He always had something. Always something to make me laugh. You, all you do is make me agitated. That's it. That's all you do. 540. You're on the air.
Fuck these prisoners, Sam. Fuck these prisoners. Who cares about them?
Dude, they escaped from jail. That's a hell of an accomplishment. They've got all this law enforcement looking for them. Nobody can find them. That's a major accomplishment.
You know what?
What?
What we need to find, though, is the producer of A Lifetime, and his name is Denny Falcone. Dennis is the man. He's the one for the job. Bring him in.
Dude, I may do a producer search because Dennis Falcone, and if you have any suggestions too for a new producer, tweet me at SRShowSXM. Tweet now or forever hold your peace with a hashtag that says SR Show, because I feel like Dennis Falcone would never let something happen like what's happening right now. Dennis Falcone would not let me sit here shouting out area codes to unscreened phone calls, trying to get a topic started about these escaped convicts. Dennis Falcone would not let dead air hit or let music hit or let weirdness. It's just weirdness permeating this room. And Dennis Falcone would not let it happen. I don't think intern David would let it happen. I don't think the escaped prisoner with the small dick would let it happen either. I think he deserves the job. Number one, he is man enough to escape prison. He knows how to think on his feet. He knows how to say, okay, I'm going to make the best of a bad situation. Yes, the judge says I'm stuck in jail forever. But, what if I can be motivated? What if I can be personally motivated to change my surroundings? Quite literally. I'll get a friend who's got a big old dick. He's going to have sex with a big fat woman. She's going to give us power tools, and that's how we'll change our scenario. At no point today did Paul think, oh, these phones aren't working right. Let me find somebody with a big old dick to fuck a fat woman until they work right. Did you? He didn't think of it. He didn't think of it. I would have thought of it, but I'm thinking of everything else that's going on this show. God damn it. Let's go to 516. You're on the air.
Sammy.
What's up, pal?
Excellent text this morning to Anthony, by the way. Suck it.
Thanks.
I heard in Belgium that actually if you escape from jail there, they don't actually add any time onto your sentence. You can escape as many times as you want or try as many times as you want. They don't tack on any time.
Escaping jail should not be a crime. Escaping jail should be something that you can't do. If you can escape jail, you should definitely escape jail. If there is anybody in prison that is listening to Sam Roberts' show right now, I want you all to know, if you can escape. It's so much more pleasant to not be in jail. Trust me, I'm not in jail ever, and it's great. I can go do whatever I want. I can hit up a Chick-fil-A 50 miles down the road if I want, because I can get in my car. Nobody's asking me any questions. It's so good not being in jail. If you can escape jail, you should escape jail, and the point of jail should be to keep people in. How are you going to motivate anybody to stay in jail if it's that easy? Like, you can't motivate a prison guard if the crime is escaping, not the crime is letting somebody escape. The people who get arrested should be the ones who let prisoners out of jail. Let's go to 208. What's going on?
Hey, Sam, it's Stacy. First, I got to give you crap for the Chick-fil-A comments.
Why?
You got to start. I'm the one that was in studio the other day that gave you crap for your food.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you think I thought it was going to be for political reasons, but you're saying because it's poisoning my body.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And it's horrible for you, all of that crap.
Yeah, but Stone Cold Steve Austin thinks I'm cool because I eat fast food. So there is no possibility of me stopping anytime soon.
How old are you?
31.
Yeah, it'll catch up with you. Wait. Just wait.
Well,
and
we'll
then
see.
You're going to have to stop, Sam. Plus, it's got all the chemicals. But the second thing, how do they know that they're almost catching them? That's what you said in the media. Said, I don't understand how they know that they've almost caught them.
Yeah, I guess because they're like, I just believe what I see when they go, we're on the case. We've almost got them. Yeah, I guess you either have them or you don't, right?
Yes, yeah. So they could go a totally different direction. So that's I'm like, I don't know how they almost have them, but
yeah.
And I do agree with you. If you escape, you should be out.
You should be out, and the prison guard should be in jail.
Fuck them, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I think. So you're right. You're right.
I know.
But yeah.
Thank you, Stacy.
Eat healthier. Bye.
Well, I don't know if you're right about that, but I appreciate.
I'm right about that. Trust me.
Okay, let's talk to you later.
Bye.
Let's go to 772. You're on the air.
Hey, primetime Sam Roberts. What I'm curious about, how all this prison escaping, I want to know what your thoughts are. The mastermind of prison escaping, Mr. Andy Dufresne, Shawshank Redemption.
It's what I'm saying. I watch Andy Dufresne, and I watch him escape down to the beach, and I think to myself, what an uplifting tale this is. I watch Shawshank, and I'm going, I hope everybody escapes from prison, because I feel so good.
I should have taken a note out of his book, because what this guy did is completely ridiculous.
Yeah, well, you know what the problem is? That even after Shawshank Redemption and Andy Dufresne's story, prisons across the country are still allowing prisoners to put up that poster of Farrah Fawcett in their cell. And it's like there's no reason to put a poster of Farrah Fawcett up in your cell unless it's to cover up an escape plan.
Fair enough. Just want to chime with that. I can't believe someone didn't call before me.
Yeah.
Bring that point up.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Let's go to Jacob. Jacob, you're on the air.
Sam, what's going on? First of all, fuck that chick with her Chick-fil-A comment. That's the best fast food there is.
There's no better chicken sandwich than Chick-fil-A. Like, I don't agree with Chick-fil-A's stance on gay marriage, but I'd like one gay couple to make a chicken sandwich as good as Chick-fil-A does it to really change my mind.
Absolutely. Their breakfast is the shit. But listen, I was on a Reddit a couple days ago, and I was reading through some conspiracy theories about this stuff, and someone had brought up the fact, what if they're still in the pipe system for the prison, waiting for all this to die down, and then they're going to escape?
First of all, I can't imagine the claustrophobia that would exist if that's actually happening. That's terrifying to me. But I mean, I would think at this point, when they're going to starve to death.
Well, what if they took food, though? I mean, if they had fucking power tools, what else did they have?
They had power tools, Chick-fil-A, and they're just hanging out, having a nice supersized meal in the middle of a pipe under the prison. I would hope that somebody has checked the pipes. I would really hope that one of the hundreds of police officers looking for these guys thought to himself, let me check the pipes before we go anywhere else. If they didn't, they deserve to be free.
Well, the prison system is so fucking crooked. I live in Ohio. I used to be a nurse at one of the prisons here, one of the supermaxes. And the medical department, all the stuff that they would get for the prisoners, allow the prisoners to do, it's just ridiculous. Supermax means 23-hour lockdown per day. But these guards and the nurses, medical staff, will kind of have their favorite inmates and do favors, and there'd be a lot of money exchanged. It's a very corrupt system, but I would be surprised if there was more than Piggy Face that was involved in order for this whole thing to get pulled off. But the theory of them still being somewhere underground, it's not too far-fetched.
No, I mean, look, as far-fetched as this whole, thanks, buddy, as far-fetched as this whole story is, I would not at all be surprised if they were underground. This is a living, breathing movie. It's incredible. Let's go to John in New York. What's going on, John?
Hey, what's cracking?
That's right.
Have you did you find out if its power tools were electric or were they
They gotta
plug-ins? You know what I'm saying?
They got to be battery powered, I would think.
Right, so now, wouldn't they take these tools as a weapon? I mean, some of the crimes were heinous. They could use these weapons as tools, as weapons, and just bludgeon people with them.
This is turning into a horror movie. There's just a murderer with a giant penis and a jackhammer wandering around the streets.
And he's right, and he's just drilling holes in people, and he's making it out to be a sexual thing.
Well, if I find one person who has a jackhammer mark in his face, I'm blaming again the prison guards and that fat woman, not the prisoners.
Yeah, you want him to work with you. You want him there to produce this damn show.
Number one, if we have a bad guest, he'll bludgeon them. Number two, if he's motivated enough to escape a prison and attack somebody with a fucking jackhammer, he's going to be motivated enough to make sure my phones and my computers and stuff are in working order before the show starts. I would hire him in a heartbeat. But again, only the one with the smaller dick, not the big dick one.
Why, you don't want the competition?
I get so jealous. John.
Prime time, keep up the good work.
All right, buddy, I'll talk to you later. I thought he was just going to say keep up the work. I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll take it. Let's go to Bob in Texas. What's going on, Bob?
I'm Muffin. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
Good. I thought your governor was down there checking those pipes. I don't think they're in the pipes anymore.
That's true. Yeah, he was. Our governor of New York was down there looking at the cell himself just to make sure all these cops were on their game. You should lock him up for doing that, too. That's so condescending for the governor to come down and be like, look, did the prison guards check the cell? Yeah, dude, they looked in there, Mr. Governor. They checked it.
So are there only two of y'all running this show?
Yeah, dude, it's me and it's fucking Paul. And it's not two of us, it's 1.5 today.
So you can't get fucking Paul on the air in the barrel to have a good time?
Well, you see, he's trying to screen the calls now, but I'm not having a good time with him, no.
That's just hopeless. Just get him on the air and let's have a good time.
All right, buddy, I'll talk to you later.
Later.
Let's go to Jessica in Syracuse. What's going on, Jessica?
Hi, Sam. I just heard the guy asking the question about the power tools.
Yeah.
And they had electric power tools. They were provided with extension cords as well. And they spliced into power, they spliced into the electricity lines for different things to use their extension cords.
They should literally let every prisoner out of that jail and just lock up everybody who works there, because there is nothing going on there.
Seriously, I know. So I just want to let your other caller know how they actually operated the tools.
That's insanity. All right, thanks.
Have a good day.
You too. Line 5. Let's go to Steve. What's going on, Steve?
How you doing? You mentioned the analogy to Andy Dufresne.
Yeah.
The big difference here is that Andy Dufresne was innocent, and that's a major part of the movie, that he was an innocent man.
Is that why it felt so good?
Murder and kidnapping.
Yeah. Well, maybe these guys are innocent, too. Maybe they were falsely convicted.
You know what? I hand it to them that they're master planners, but so was Osama bin Laden, and we don't praise him. So, you gotta...
That's true,
planners,
okay.
But there's lots of great planners who are pretty bad guys.
That's a great philosophy. Let me think if I can give Osama bin Laden credit for the fact that he outran the United... I don't know. If Osama bin Laden had been caught by the U.S. and then escaped, I would say that's our bad. I don't support criminals that can hide well. I support criminals that get caught and then escape. I think if you can do that, then that's a notch in your belt and we fucked up. But if we haven't caught you yet, so Osama bin Laden, no. I will state for the record on Sam Roberts Show, I am not in support of Osama bin Laden, because once he did get caught, he got fucked up. There was no escaping. He could run, but he couldn't hide. Okay? If you get caught and we've got you, and then you escape, and then we don't have you anymore, that's on you, my friend. You beat us. You beat us. And I think we got to be, okay with it. We got to just realize, that's what's happening. Clint, you're on the air on Sam Roberts Show.
Big nuts, all go, primetime Sam Roberts' own show.
That's right.
First time I've heard it, brother. I had to call in and say congratulations.
Thanks, pal.
Awesome that you got your own show, brother.
Thanks, dude.
And if somebody escapes from, the Opie and Anthony show, that is to be commended, too. You escaped and got your own show, so
That's right. I
you're
survived.
yourself, in essence.
And by the way, I don't know how many of you, I heard, I got some tweets about it. Some people were talking on Reddit about it. I will address some of the comments made by one Anthony Cumia on the Anthony Cumia show yesterday. Apparently, Opie and me are in a bitter argument. I'll address some of the rumors that Anthony brought up yesterday. Nick on Long Island. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, Sam, how's it going?
Good.
I know what you said about Chick-fil-A. I felt the same way until about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was down in Tampa. They have a new fast food chain called PDQ. It's people dedicated to quality, but who gives a fuck? But I'm telling you, it's the best chicken sandwich I've ever had, and I used to go to Chick-fil-A every time I went down south.
It's a big
but
statement.
Neither restaurant's in New York, so we're fucked regardless.
That's a big statement. I'm going to have to look into this. Jacob on Staten Island.
Hey, Sammy, how's it going today, brother?
Good, pal.
Cool. I think the two biggest fuck-ups of the day are Paul and the woman in the story with the prisoners that broke out. I think they both...
Yeah, and I think it's actually, they are equal fuck-ups.
Yeah, I think they both deserve the same treatment as Samuel L. Jackson in Goodfellas.
That's right. That's right.
To be fucking late for their own fucking funeral.
That's right. That's right. I said I was kidding. I don't really want the coffee to go. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Sammy, thank you. Have a nice day, brother.
All right. But one day, Paul, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make you a made man. You're officially in with the Sam Roberts crew. And you're going to be like, holy shit, I can't believe it. I've been waiting for this forever. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have two old men. They're going to walk you into a room. And you're going to be like, oh, I bet Sam Roberts is waiting in there for me to make me a made man. And you know what's going to happen? There's going to be an empty room. And you're going to go, oh, no. And one of those old men is going to shoot you in the back of the head and going to end your life. Once and for all. Let's go to Dan on Long Island. What's going on, Dan?
Hey, it's actually Ben.
Oh, don't get me started. Go on.
But no, I'm here to protect Paul. Because I work for a talk show where...
What talk show?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say.
Is it Mike Francesa? Because if it is, let him know. I'm on his tail. I'm on his fucking tail and he's going down.
Not Mike, but I get often berated by the host of said show.
Yeah.
And also the fans of the show for what they think is me doing a bad job, but it's usually just the people calling in being mad.
Oh. Well, that's not this case. In this scenario, it is Paul doing a bad job.
Okay, well...
All right, buddy.
He's trying.
He's trying, but he's failing, which is not great. Let's go to...
See you Sunday?
Am I going to what?
We're going to see you on Sunday?
Where?
At the Comic-Con.
Is this Rat?
Maybe.
Rat. You're not supposed to be calling this phone. Wait till people find out. Wait till people find out.
Okay.
Yes, you'll see me.
Awesome.
All right, I'll talk to you later, buddy. Let's go to Jacob or Matt. Matt, you there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll just talk about prisoners. Every time I think of prisoner, I think of Nail, former WWF superstar.
See, that's why he lost every match, because he didn't escape from jail. He got released when it was time to get released.
Is that true?
Yeah, he
Why
didn't.
was Big Boss Man mad at him? What's their story?
No, he was mad at Big Boss Man because he locked him up. Big Boss Man was just defending
that makes
himself.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very simple,
So much.
really.
Thank you.
We got so much show to get to today. As I said, I'll talk about what went down on the Anthony Cumia show yesterday. Also, Jackie Miranne is going to be here in a few minutes. She was in here on Friday. She did an amazing job with Jim Norton. She'll be back here today. And Guy Pearce is coming in just a second. Let's go to Jeff. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, Sam. Good afternoon. Good morning.
That's right.
Sam, is it possible that the prisoner escape was they had help on the outside and they reverse engineered it and they first started at the manhole and then they bugged their way in? And because it just seems so implausible to have those tools and things like that. What do you think?
At this point, Jeff, anything's possible. All I'm saying is, whatever the story is, My hat goes off to those murderers.
All right, Sammy, good job.
I'll talk to you later. Guy Pearce is getting ready. He is coming up next here on Sam Roberts Show. You know him from Memento. You know him from everything he's ever done. He's amazing. Don't you dare move. Sam Roberts Show here on Opie Radio. With me now, once again, is Guy Pearce. I talked to you about a year ago. How's it going, man?
It's going all right.
You still got the beard?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Now, is that beard for a movie, or is it?
It's
a personal choice.
No. It's for film that I'm going to go off and do in a few weeks. So.
It is interesting though, because the movie that you're promoting is like the antithesis of that. Like it's very sort of clean cut, fitness, dude.
Yeah.
And what do you like better?
That guy.
You do?
Well,
that's you.
I don't want to be clean cut necessarily, but having a beard, particularly when it's humid outside, is particularly itchy.
I've tried to grow a beard several times. I've gotten a little further than I'm at right now, but not much further. Once it starts to get itchy, I just throw in the towel every time.
Yeah.
I start to look at it when it's starting to come in and go, yeah, I'm going to be able to pull this off. I got kind of a big upper lip. It'll look better. Like, yeah, I think I could do that. And then no, forget it.
You've sort of got to push past that phase. Then it's good for a while. And then it starts to get itchy again, I find, at this stage now.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, and it could just be because I'm here in some humid weather.
Yeah, but you'd still, you'd think I thought I was past this.
Yeah.
And you're past the point of no return.
There's another phase. That's right.
Well, the new movie with no beard is called Results. It's like I guess would be considered a rom-com.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess to some degree it would be. I mean, it's an Andrew Bajolsky film, so his films are nicely unconventional.
Right.
And when you say the term rom-com, you think of things like Bridget Jones' Diary, and, there's a certain sort of quality to them, which are great. I love those.
But it's almost by definition conventional.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a formula.
Whereas his is, you have to say an Andrew Bajolsky rom-com, I think. So,
well, where else do we know Andrew Bajolsky from?
Andrew Bajolsky has done Computer Chess and Funny Ha Ha and Mutual Appreciation and Beeswax. He's sort of what they call the godfather of mumblecore.
What's mumblecore?
Mumblecore is this sort of movement. I don't know how many years ago it kind of started, but it was a number of filmmakers who were involved, I guess. I don't know who any of them are, except for Andrew. And it was all about doing improvised kind of work. Now, obviously, this has been done in the past, but there was a bit of a slew of these films probably 10, 15 years ago. And Andrew really, I think with some of his earlier work was kind of the leader of that.
Uh-huh.
And whereas this film, funnily enough, is probably his most conventional. Firstly, he's using actors who are who you kind of know.
Right.
Because quite often he'll see a really interesting person in a cafe and go, "You're really interesting," and then he'll go and write a movie and put them in it about them. And,
as a professional actor, because I know, as a radio guy, I'm constantly paranoid. I was literally just having a conversation with somebody that I'm just paranoid that one of the bosses here is going to realize that anybody can talk. And that
you're out of a job.
Yeah, I'm going to be found out wait, we could just find some guy to talk for half the money and just let him talk. What difference does it make? When people like that are saying, hey, you're interesting looking, I'm going to put you in a film. Are you going no, you have to study for this and you have to be very skilled?
Well, no. Look, I understand what you're saying. But I do think that, there are skills that hold you in good stead. And for some people, they'll probably be exposed sooner rather than later. They might be great for one or two films or something, but there are probably some people who you could get off the street who have got an interesting energy to them, who could come in and host a radio show. But I don't know. I think there's something to be said for experience and responsibility and all sorts of elements like that.
You would hope within a couple of weeks people would realize how shitty they were and stop listening.
And
you would hope.
And get you back.
Yeah.
Get him out of the cupboard and put him back on radio.
Yeah, exactly. Were you a fan of Andrew's before this movie, or did you have to start doing your homework?
Well, I met Andrew about 2 years ago, I think it was. I can't remember when it was, 2 or 3 years ago, for another film that he was writing and talking about, and which never actually ended up getting made. Well, it still might, but I think we both probably realized that I wasn't right for that film, but we got off on a good footing, and we sort of became friendly, and then he contacted me about a year ago and said, "Hey, I've written this thing, and sort of with you in mind, I've kind of written it for you," and Kevin Corrigan. because he said, I love Kevin, and I just love this idea of putting the two of you in a movie together. And he said, I've said it in the fitness world. And I went, oh, wow. Yes, I'll say yes. So I didn't
right there. You're like, Kevin Corrigan.
Yeah. I mean,
sounds weird.
So back about 2 or 3 years ago when I met Andrew, I looked at whatever films I could find of his then. Computer Chess wasn't out yet, so I hadn't seen that, obviously, but I saw that while we were making this. And I've just been a fan. I just think he's very insightful. He realizes characters in a very particular way. His interest in the small stuff. You know, the sort of the uncomfortable, weird stuff that happens in dynamics, in relationships, with your friends and even people you don't know, that is usually left out of conventional romantic comedies.
Those little things that all happen to everybody. Nobody really picks up on the fact that they're happening, but once we see them happening in a movie or a TV show, we're like, yeah, it happens to me. Yes.
Those awkward silences, for example, you know, and in a more conventional film, they might make a real thing out of that and go, oh, that was an awkward silence. Isn't that funny? And then it's never looked at again. Whereas Andrew just lets the film run and you kind of sit there going, oh, this is so entertaining, but so kind of awkward at the same time. So he has a very particular quality.
So is your instinct as a performer to kind of, because you're not going to stop until the director tells you to, but as you're performing, are there points where you're kind of just waiting for somebody to say stop? And you're like, are we still going to go?
Well, you sort of, by the time you start shooting, you know, we'd rehearsed. And so, and because I knew his work, I was ready for
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And it wasn't so unconventional. I mean, funnily enough, I did a film. I've done 2 films with Drake Doremus now, but the first one that I did, Breathe In, was all improvised. Now, he'd written an 80-page treatment, so we knew exactly what was going to happen in each scene, but the dialogue was, you know, we would improvise. And so, but even on that, because that's how it was set up by Drake, you were ready for it, you know.
Right.
It's different if you're on a more conventional movie and you get to the end of a scene and no one calls cut and you start to go, wow, what's going on? But
right, if you're doing Iron Man,
and
they're just letting
Shane
kind
Black's disappeared,
and
you think, man, this is weird.
Yeah,
but when you're working with these kind of guys, you just know that this is a different style of film, you know.
Yeah. What do you prefer? Because you've done a lot of both, really. I mean, and to the highest levels. You know, we brought up Iron Man and King's Speech and stuff like that. These are giant movies that are fairly conventional. But then, you know, Memento is one of the most famous kind of unconventional movies, and all the other things that you've done. As an actor, is it funner to do the unconventional, or is that kind of scarier because you don't exactly know how it's going to turn out on screen?
No. It's you don't know how anything's going to turn out on screen to some degree. Anyway,
right.
I think what I enjoy is moving between all sorts of styles of filmmaking, to be honest. You know, I think I did a TV show when I was about 18 for 4 years. It was a conventional kind of show. And
was it Neighbors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really found myself at the end of that going, wow, this is kind of frustrating, you know, doing the same thing all the time. And so, and as a kid, I did a lot of theater. And so you'd go from one weird project to another weird project. And so the idea of flitting from one extreme to another, really, I find satisfying. I really get a lot out of it. And
So as you're making movies and you're like, okay, whatever the next one is, I want it to be different from that one. And you just kind of always go back to what it was like when you were 18 and doing the same thing kind of every day.
Yeah, I don't have to think about it too much. It's more just about reading scripts and going, ooh, this is exciting.
Right.
You know, and I'll sometimes think, wow, but funnily enough, a year ago, I might not have said yes to this.
Yeah.
It may not have been the thing that I was interested in. And you know, you change as a person through your life and through your career. And so I look at some of the things, like I did Adam Sandler's film Bedtime Stories in 2008. And, you know, and I'd loosened up by that stage in my life and I'd become a nicer person. And so I was ready to do things that were silly, you know.
So before then, you were very much sort of like, no, I'm a serious performer. I'm a serious actor. I'm not going to.
Not so much a serious actor. I was just a grumpy person.
Just kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I think I was, for myself, not trying to prove my worth as an actor to anybody else, but just to myself.
Right.
And so I really only wanted to do things, and I still only want to do things that inspire me. But the range of things was much more limited back then.
Isn't it weird when you get into one of those kicks where you realize your pride is not what's holding you up, but it's completely holding you back?
Yes.
Because it's limiting you 100%. You're not finding the things that are worth doing.
That's right. And you're not prepared to explore and experiment and fall on your face and go, oh, well, you know.
Right.
Whereas now if something falls over, I just go, oh, well, at least I read it and believed in it and gave it a go.
So what happened that you kind of made that transition?
I knew I needed to take myself off and sort myself out because I was seriously getting I was indulging in things that I shouldn't have been indulging in too much. And I was just getting too grumpy with too many people.
And you start to realize like you're kind of becoming the stereotype of like an angry drunk actor?
I guess. Yeah. I just, you know, I mean, I lost my dad when I was really young, and I think there was a lot of unresolved stuff that I hadn't sorted out from a young age. And so I just got to a point where I went, I really need to take myself away. And I was sick of the industry, and I didn't know if I wanted to do it anymore. I couldn't see the validity in it anymore, and I just didn't like myself. So in about 2001, I just disappeared for about a year and a half.
What'd you do for a year and a half?
Well, I just found a therapist, and I firstly took myself off and went to the most remote part of Australia I could find and stayed there for a month or so, and just really thought about what I needed to say to people, what I wanted to say to people. And one of the first things I knew I needed to say was to my agent, and to say, I need to stop for a year or so. Don't call me. Do not call me. And so they didn't. They were great.
And were they did they kind of get it, or were they kind of panicking because that's their?
They were panicking.
10% too.
They were panicking, but I just said, I'm going to have a breakdown if I need to get into this, you know, I really need to sort this out. And they were very respectful, obviously. And funnily enough, it took, you know, so about a year and a half later, it took Nick Cave calling one night.
Wow.
Who I didn't know at that stage. Because scripts had still been sent.
Yeah.
Like they were like, we're just going to send you this anyway. And they'd just come and I'd chuck them in a pile. I wouldn't even look at them. You know?
Did you have any idea what was sent to you? Like, was anything sent to you? You didn't?
No idea. Right. No idea. And I was at home with a friend one night, and the phone rang, and I wasn't answering the phone. I was letting the answering machine get it. And this voice went, yeah, guy, it's Nick Cave calling. Look, there's a script we've sent you, and you're obviously not reading things at the moment, and they seem to think that if I call you, you might have a look at it. Anyway, I'm sorry to bother you. You know. And of course, I went, oh my God, Nick Cave.
Yeah, you were a fan.
So I go through the pile, find the script, and read it, and kind of went, oh yeah, okay, this is interesting. You know. So, and by that point, I think I'd come out of a little bit anyway. I sort of knew that I was ready to take on acting again. I knew that I could see the value of it. You know, and the thing is, I've been acting since I was a kid.
Right.
And so I think I needed to step away from it and come back to it as an adult and go and make the decision that this is the career that I want to have from an adult's point of view, rather than just being an 8-year-old and I'm just carrying on being the opportunist based on the decision of an 8-year-old.
Yeah, and you probably needed that moment, year and a half or whatever, to figure out who you are as a person.
Absolutely.
Because you spent that whole time like
being other people.
Yeah, you're being other
and
people.
Being stoned.
And you're trying to impress people, and you're, you know, and you're constantly just moving.
Yeah, and I love the fact and I still do. I don't have goals. I just allow scripts to come and I read them, and I'm either moved or I'm not, and I do it. But I'm much more aware of my own sort of boundaries. I know that I need to have breaks in between jobs. I know that I really believe that I can play that character? Actually, no, I don't. So I'm not going to do it.
You just give it up if that's the case.
Yeah.
And do you have something in mind where, you know what, if this acting thing is not for me, I can just stop? Because I think that's probably the insecurity that a lot of actors had, is I got to keep working.
Yeah, and I thought that at the time. Whereas now I love it, you know, and so I go, no, well, I'm sure I'll just keep on working, you know, and it's fine. And I mean, I make music as well, so I really enjoy it. And making music is important for me in between work as well. So.
And is that because at that point you actually get to be you? Like, it's what you're feeling, it's not somebody else's words?
I guess. I've just always loved writing music and singing and recording, and, you know, so I just love doing that. And I get to be completely in control.
Yeah. Which is a big deal for an actor.
Yeah.
When you first got back onto a movie set after that period, was it kind of like, I don't know how this is going to go? Was there did you spend a lot of time experimenting with your brain? Like, let's just see, let's put a foot in.
Funnily enough, the first film that I did, it wasn't actually the Nick Cave thing, because they were still raising their money and there was a bit of time. I did this French film in Cambodia, and I worked with 32 Tigers, which was amazing. But I had a tricky time with the director, and so that was a real test, you know.
Yeah.
Was to kind of go, all right, I'm being tested here, you know. So
was your agent relieved?
Yes.
Yeah, very much so, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, The movie, of course, now is Results, and you were saying, Kevin Corrigan's in it. Did you know Kevin Corrigan before?
Not personally, but
he's one of these guys that's been in everything forever.
Yeah, he's great. He's so interesting. He's so funny. He's so unpredictable as an actor. That's what I really enjoy about him on set, is you just don't kind of know where he's going to move or what he's going to say or how he's going to say it. So he's a real delight.
And one of my other favorite people is in this thing, Giovanni Ribisi.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic, isn't he?
And he's one of those guys that, like, everything he's in, I get blown away by, but he's not in nearly enough.
I know.
I don't know if that's just him kind of making his decisions, like you were saying.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know Giovanni a little bit, and Giovanni was great because we shot a music video after we did Results. I was talking about this record that I was bringing out. I said, I'm wanting to make music videos, and he said, I've got a production company. Let's go make one. So we went to LA. Well, he lives in LA. And so I got back to LA after the movie and we shot a music video. So,
isn't that great when you find somebody who just enjoys that part of the business?
And I said, let me pay you for this. He said, no, man, it's just fun. I love doing this.
That's amazing.
I said, all right.
Those are the people you want around you.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy.
So is part of your psychology? Because we were talking the last time you were here about that you still live in Australia.
Yes.
And is part of that just so I can take 3 months and just go home and step away and come back, like this part when I'm in LA, when I'm in New York or whatever, we're working, and then I can go back to Australia and chill out.
Well, I think the funny thing is I still feel like I'm working when I'm at home to a degree because I'm always reading scripts, I'm always publicizing something, I'm always doing ADR for something, so you're kind of running the business as such anyway. I just love being at home because I just love it. I have no reason to move, and my wife's there, my mother's there, and my sister's there, and I kind of got to take care of my mum and my sister as well. So, so I don't feel the need to move from there anyway. And I have found over the years that yes, to step away from the industry, and I can kind of get to be a bit more normal at home, I think.
Right. It's probably a good place. Is that where do you write music?
And well, funnily enough, I actually write more music when I'm away on films because all I've got to concentrate on is the film. And that's it. So I actually feel more free in my mind to actually write songs. But when I get home is then when I record them.
Gotcha. But yeah, I guess when you're at home, it's like, okay, when you're on the film, the perception is for the next 3 months to however long the filming is, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, but you sort of have days free, and if you're not learning lines, you sort of nothing else to do, except for me is to write music, and I just feel much more freed up when I'm at home and you're paying bills and you're doing this and you're organising that and you've got the garden sorted out or whatever you got to get sorted out. I can't sit there for a couple of hours and just write a song.
How long does it take you to memorize lines now?
Well, it depends. It really depends. Depends what I'm doing. Depends on the accent. Depends on how well it's written. Depends on all sorts of things. I suppose. I mean, I'm okay, but there's knowing the lines and then there's really knowing the lines. And I like to really know the lines as if you're doing a play.
Yeah. But when you get like a shitty script that's really easy to remember, it's like, okay, I'll take 3 months and write some music and I guess I'll film some scenes in between.
Well, and usually I've done a lot of the line learning before I get to where I'm going to shoot the film. I don't really want to be learning lines once I'm there.
What's the process to learn lines? Like, do you just read until it's stuck in your head?
I do for a while. It depends, again, if there's an accent involved. But I have a little digital recorder, so I'll record all my dialogue. So I'm listening to it as well, constantly. And I'll also then record the other people's dialogue and leave gaps in between and start to have conversations with my little recorder. So I look like a mad person.
Do you have to be left alone to do that?
Oh, yeah. I can't do that with anybody.
So you tell your family, no, it's time to go learn lines.
Yeah, well, I just go in the studio. I've got a studio at home, so I just go in there. And just to, particularly if you're doing an accent, to get something out loud, to actually start doing it out loud, it means that by the time I get on set, I'm ready to go.
And do you break it down by syllable?
Depends what the accent is.
Yeah. Like if you have to do American.
Well, it depends which American accent.
Wow.
Well. See, that's different. That's different. Like at the moment, I'm learning a Dutch accent for this thing that I've got to do, which is really tricky.
Yeah.
So, and don't ask me to do any of it, right?
Yeah. but that's one of those accents that must be so intimidating because there's not that many Dutch accents.
No, that's
in
right.
film, so Dutch people are going to be watching that.
Well, yes.
Ready for you not to sound like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas I grew up watching American movies, so it's not as unfamiliar to me as a Dutch accent, for example. Or like if I did a Scottish accent, I find that really difficult. I would have to learn it syllable by syllable by syllable and really get my head around it. And eventually you do. You start to hear it like a song and you hum the tune.
Right. You just get it.
Yeah.
I was noticing that when I was going through your Google News and everything, that you had to do a mixer event to promote this movie.
A mixer event? Oh, yeah, the other night.
And I couldn't help but, like, I was sitting there going, like, is there any part of you that's like, didn't Hollywood used to be this thing where, like, we were on this pedestal? Like, I just saw you. I mean, you look like you're having a great time.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there kind of just hanging out with people.
It was pretty quick. Like, I literally went there. They screened the trailer. They screened some scenes. They asked me some questions on the microphone, and we had a funny sort of chat. And then I just did some photos for it. So it was like literally like half an hour.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I didn't just go to this party and go to this party. Yeah.
Yeah, Guy, we need you to hang out for about an hour.
Yeah.
Just go meet people. No.
Yeah, I won't be doing that.
I'm not going to do that at all.
But it was kind of nice, actually. You know, people. It was intimate.
Yeah. And obviously it's
cozy.
And do you like being around fans?
Depends how nutty they are.
Right.
You know, depends how, if people are pushy, then that's annoying. If people are respectful and, you know, then fine.
It's cool when they come up to you and say, hey, I like this movie, or great job doing this. You go, oh, great, thanks.
Yeah. But if people just shove a pen in your face, particularly if I'm eating at a restaurant and people just come and shove a pen in your face, I want to shove it back in their face.
Right.
You know, and that's the part of me that was the grumpy guy.
Yeah.
And I now try to just go, look, I'm sorry. I'd really rather not. I'm eating right now. Or people come up and go, can I take a photo while you're sitting there eating? I'm saying, no, not right now. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I hope you understand. You know, I hope you understand.
And that's the way to handle it too, because then you still maintain your pride of like, I'm not going to do things I'm uncomfortable doing.
Yeah. Whereas in the past, I used to tell people to F off a lot.
Yeah, what the fuck is your problem?
That's right. Listen, do you want me to fucking take a photo of you while you're fucking eating? Piss off. I wasn't a nice person.
No. Well, I mean, luckily.
So and I apologize to all those people that I was nasty to in the 90s and the 80s and 90s.
Did you have to go on an apology tour once you kind of got out of the fog?
I'm still on it.
So do people come up to you? Do you hear stories like, do people come up to you and say, you know, you were an asshole when I met you and blah, blah, blah?
No, I mean.
That's good.
They're out there, though.
They are. You know you were.
I know, absolutely.
It's lucky, though, to go through that stage before sort of TMZ became the amazing industry that it is.
Yeah, I don't want to be getting caught on film doing that. I don't think.
Right.
You know, it's
right.
I really have such embarrassment and humiliated feelings about how I was in the past. So I don't want to.
No.
I don't want to see that on television as well.
You want to get out of there completely.
Repeat it over and over and over.
We were also talking about, I think last time I brought up that, you know, you were just saying Neighbors was the show you were on when you were a kid. And it must have, when did you move to the States?
Well, I've never moved to the States. I mean, I came to the States in 94 to promote Priscilla and got an agent at that time. And then I kept coming back in 95 doing sort of auditions for things and got LA Confidential and started that in 96.
Is LA Confidential one of the favorite things you've ever done?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that and Memento, The Proposition, Priscilla, King's Speech, you know.
Yeah.
I've been pretty lucky, really.
Yeah, when you start to go through the IMDb, it's actually very impressive.
Yeah.
But because I grew up in England for a little while when I was a kid.
Right.
I spent about 4 years there. Neighbors was huge.
Yes, of course.
And I got to the States, and I was like asking people about like Jason Donovan and Kylie Minogue.
Never heard of it.
No clue what I'm talking about. Does that... for me, as just somebody who watched it, it tripped me out. When you're on the show and a big deal in like Australia and all these spots, when you come to the States and they're like, I've never heard of that show.
I kind of like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like that. It was like starting again.
Yeah.
It was like starting again, and really having a clean slate because in a way, I mean, whenever I go to England, people still go, all right, it's Mike from Neighbours. Go back on the show. I'm like, that was 30 years ago, man.
Yeah.
You know, so in a way, I'm actually thankful to be in a country that doesn't know anything about it. You know? And I remember at some point, some years after I'd left Neighbours, there was talk about a particular channel here picking it up. And I was going, no,
don't do it. Although,
but they never did because it just didn't translate.
I feel like you found your American project to some degree, because I would imagine as many years as it's been, people still come up to you with, you know, ink on their forearm from Memento.
But
and
that's
you're
fine. I feel far more proud of Memento than I do of my work in Neighbours. Yeah, and I was terrible in Neighbours when I was 18. I was awful, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to. I'm glad I did it, but I don't need it to be seen by everybody in the world.
Right. Like it's a foundation.
It was enough to be seen by 20 million people in the UK. You know.
Right. Right. Well, listen.
Who still think I'm on the show?
Do they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's
just,
like that. You've done anything else since Neighbours? Yeah, I've done a couple of ads,
a few things. Yeah, there's the internet. You could probably look it up.
Yeah, that's right.
The old guy Pearce would have let him know exactly what you've done.
That's right.
Since. Look at this. Well, listen, everybody should check this out. Results is the name of the movie. I find it interesting because it's kind of a funny look into this world of fitness, but I would imagine being a working actor, you kind of are in that world. Like, you don't have a lot of body fat on you.
Well, no, and I mean, I was in that world many years ago. I won a bodybuilding competition when I was 16.
You did?
Yeah, 1984, won the state junior bodybuilding championship.
Whoa.
So I said to Andrew, and this is partly why Andrew wrote the film for me, because he knew, I think I'd mentioned that to him at some point, and so he knew that I knew that world pretty well. And he went, this is the story to write. Guy as an instructor in a gym with Kevin, who looks like he's never been to a gym in his life.
Right.
Coming in, wanting to, and I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, Kevin.
But, I mean, we all have eyes.
Yeah. But, so I knew that world, and I've known that world. I've been in and out of gyms my entire life. So
that's kind of, do you still work out like a fiend?
No. I that dropped off pretty quickly. I lost my interest in bodybuilding pretty quickly. Although, if a bodybuilding competition happens to be on the television or something, I'll check it out.
You will. You'll still watch it.
Yeah, but I can't lift heavyweight. I can't be bothered.
No.
But I'll still stay fit and, do light weights and run and,
If the acting thing hadn't worked out, do you think you would have just been a gym rat?
No, I would have gone down the music road.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I noticed, some fingernail polish.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
No. Don't be sorry at all. I spent some time, when I was younger, painted fingernails.
I know. You'd think I would have stopped this years ago.
Is that just for you, or is that for a project too?
No, it was just for me. We just did some shows recently, and I kind of like the idea of having painted nails when I play guitar.
Yeah, it's very rock star.
It is, totally, that's
especially because you came in
particularly with a grey beard.
Right. You got your beard, your fingernail polish is all kind of chipped off, and you look confident about it. It feels rock star.
Cool.
That's what you should do.
That's me. Rock and roll.
The movie is called Results. It's on demand now. It's in theaters also. What do you think of that transition? That so much is on demand now that people are watching at home. Do you care that people don't watch in theaters?
I'm not sure what I think of it. I do wonder about it, and I don't want theaters to disappear because that experience, as we know, is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's kind of that's how you get your audience locked in. I guess with phones it's harder and harder, but at least in a movie theater, there's some sense of, they're for the next 90 minutes or 2 hours or whatever it is. They're in this dark room, this giant screen.
And that's right. I think it's about the screen as well.
Yeah.
It's about having that big screen, and there's just something about that experience. And it's nostalgic for me. I mean, I'm the age that I am, and so, I've grown up in the movie theater watching films. So yeah, I don't know what I think. I mean, I think it's really handy that you can watch 27 seasons of Mad Men all at once if you want. But,
right.
But at the same time, and not that series television is my thing, to be honest. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's something about.
I'll think about an answer for you.
Please do. Next time you're here,
yes,
I'm going to quiz you, and I want an informed answer, because there is something about knowing, even if it's a first run movie, knowing that at any point I could just pause it and take a piss or make a sandwich or whatever I want. It kind of takes away that sort of I'm locked into this.
I was a little bit surprised when they said, okay, so it's in cinemas and streaming and delivered into your mailbox at home, and we're going to perform it live for you and everything else.
However you want to see anything.
Please just see it.
We'll put it in front of your eyeballs.
That's right.
Well, you don't have any excuse then. Results is the name of the movie. Guy Pearce, Giovanni Ribisi, Kevin Corrigan.
Kobe Smulders.
Yes, from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
It's a great, great movie. Everybody go see it. And Guy, thanks for hanging out, man.
No worries. Thanks for having me back.
Of course. We'll be back with more Sam Roberts Show after this. It's my confidence song. It's one of my ego songs. To boost myself out of my lows, my depressions. And I go, wait a minute. You're right. I ball so hard motherfuckers want to find me. But first, N-words have to find me. It helps me. Thanks to Guy Pearce for stopping by. Fingernails painted and all. It was Rockstar to me. It looked Rockstar. Welcome back to Sam Roberts Show. So much still to do today. So much to get into. You want to tweet along with the show? It's SR Show SXM on Twitter. SR Show SXM on Twitter. You can find out everything that we're doing. Some in-studio photos. And you're going to want to see the in-studio photos, because we got a real dish in here. Jackie Miranne is back in studio. You remember her from last week. She was in here with Jim Norton and her friend Annalise, the British model. You've seen her on VH1 Big Morning Buzz. Welcome back to the show, Jackie Miranne.
Thank you. I appreciate that Hype Man song right there.
That was for you.
Is it because of what we talked about? It's my secret Dub Smash life.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dub Smash is this app that everybody's using now, and it's all it is a lip syncing act. It always makes me crazy when I see these apps that aren't even apps. Like, All you have to do is lip sync into your phone. You don't need an app to do that. But Dub Smash is like, no, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play some of the song, and then people record themselves lip syncing. And I go, why can't they just record themselves lip syncing? And they go, no, you got to use Dub Smash. And then I go, no, you don't. And everybody else goes, no, they're right, you do. You got to use Dub Smash. And then everybody uses it, and this company makes all this money, and I'm sitting there going, I thought didn't come up with this idea because it's not an idea. And everybody's like, it totally is an idea.
Listen, I'm the idiot that thinks these ideas are genius.
You do.
I am the person that plays into it because you know what? I would not Dub Smash if it weren't for Dub Smash.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And Dub Smash isn't even a thing. It's just lip syncing a song.
But it puts it right there for you. You just type in the little song. You get excited when you see it. You press it. It controls you.
I've never used
let
it
it
before.
control you. Oh, it's... Oh,
I'm too stubborn.
God.
Because I sing songs in the car all the time. What if I just was in the car listening to a song on the radio and just put my phone on and videoed myself doing it? Why would I need the app?
But would you do it?
Of course I would.
Would you do it without the app?
I wouldn't do it with the app. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. You just.
It's amazing because it has the little Dub Smash logo on the bottom.
Yeah, it's really great because you can plug them too. So it's perfect.
It lets you save it easily.
Why don't you put a little hashtag SR show at the bottom of it and then win me over?
That would be hot.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, here's the thing.
Yes, tell me, Jackie Miranne.
I think it's good because it keeps you in check. Because how long would you go on? Like, you got to know when to fold them. You know what I'm saying? It's 15 seconds.
I can do that song.
You get
I can do The Gambler by Kenny Rogers.
Good at that one.
Of course I would.
I only stick to hardcore rap. And
well, that's kind of your thing. I think people can just tell by listening to the sound of your voice that you're one of those hardcore rap type people.
I'm pretty sure I give off that vibe.
You do.
And
I was
then
intimidated.
I know. I'm pretty scary.
Yeah.
Especially with my shoes today. Did you see these bad boys?
She has giant wedges on. Of course, Jackie made a huge impression on Friday when she was on the show with Jim because she's got big, giant feet, and Jim was very much into them. I think Adrian's taking a photo, but it's just jerk-off material. It's not actually posting it anywhere. It's ridiculous.
Wait, but was he really into them? Because he's not here
No,
today.
he was into them.
I'm pretty sure I scared everybody away.
No. Jackie, he was into them.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
I mean,
I don't know how I can better state this. He was definitely into them. We all were.
I know, and I let the toe get an ego. Look at that. It has sparkles on it now.
It's sparkly today.
It's sparkly.
Let's go to Tom in California.
Yeah,
Tom, if you want to call up Sam Roberts Show, by the way, we don't just tweet at SR Show SXM. We take phone calls, too. After all, it's 2015. If now's not the time to take phone calls, when is? 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. Tom in California. Tom, don't tell me I talked you up that much to not say anything. Tom, you there?
Yeah.
All right.
I had a roommate a couple years back that was in prison, and he was banging his nurse. Yeah.
Okay, this is something we talked about an hour ago, but...
Sorry, buddy.
No. I'm glad
it.
I'm glad you get it. Have you been following the story of the prisoners that escaped? You didn't hear about this?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. You're looking at me, but I didn't know if we were phone talking. You know, I don't know how this all goes.
No.
I did hear about that. I heard about the taxi driver.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you just look at Perez Hilton for news when you were just looking at me blankly?
I was really not sure where to go with that. I actually stick with Coco Perez because it's very fashion oriented.
Oh, right.
But once in a while, you get it sneaks in there, the hard news stories.
Right.
As they call them.
That's right.
In the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
I mean, I'm just of the opinion that once you escape prison, you should be allowed to escape prison. It's difficult to do. You should be rewarded, and they shouldn't have to go back.
Exactly. I mean,
agree.
They should have a chance to create something like Dub Smash and rule the world. I think that they could do it.
I don't know if that's necessarily what they would do, but it is a possibility. I wanted to talk about this. Jackie, I'm glad you're here because you can be my voice of reason.
Okay.
There used to be what's now the Opie and Jim show on the mornings here on this channel on Opie Radio. The Opie and Jim are on every day, just like I'm on every day.
Right.
But Opie and Jim are on in the mornings. It used to be the Opie and Anthony show. Anthony Cumia got fired from SiriusXM for some questionable tweets. I think. I don't exactly know. I think there was reasoning behind it, but it was the tweets. So he's got his own show. It's out of his house in Long Island called The Compound, and it's called The Anthony Cumia Show. His house is The Compound.
I call my Long Island house The Compound.
Really?
I don't even own the house, but I call it my house, and I call it The Compound.
Whose house is it?
It's my mom's house.
Oh.
Just to clarify.
Right.
We call it The Compound. I'm so glad we have that in common. Continue on.
Right. Well, do you have firearms and recording equipment and a lot of booze in your mom's house?
We have 2 of the 3.
Okay.
I'm not going to say which one we don't have.
Right. Well,
I'm going to let you guess.
I guess you're a sober house then. So Anthony does his show, The Anthony Cumia Show. It's a very popular show.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to it when I get a chance. It's online. And I was listening yesterday, and I always try to pay attention when he says there's Sirius XM gossip, because even though he doesn't work for Sirius XM anymore, Anthony loves to share Sirius XM gossip. And I am still on a hunt to find out who his informer is.
Right.
It's not Snow.
No.
Informer. Yeah, I don't know who his informer is, but I have to question it based on what went down on his show yesterday. So I was watching it. I started getting tweets about this. This is why I'm bringing it up. Listen to this.
I guess at some point, Opie was telling Sam, and this was the day that Sam was going to be starting his new show, the Sam Roberts Show, weekdays at noon.
Look, I appreciate the plug, but already off the bat, I know that his informer has misinformed him, because there is no the. It's Sam Roberts Show with an apostrophe, because it's possessive.
Love it. And does he even know the hashtag? Is there a the in the hashtag?
No, it's just SR Show.
Ugh.
You're right, Jackie.
Didn't catch that.
I guess
That's why
at
I'm
some
here.
point, Opie was telling Sam, and this was the day that Sam was going to be starting his new show, the Sam Roberts Show, weekdays at noon. On, of course, Sirius satellite radio. I love Sammy. Sam's a good boy. He's very talented. So he says, Opie starts saying to Sam on the air, he goes, you're going to be doing your show against Ron Bennington. He goes, I told you not to, but Sam insisted that he wanted to do a show against Ron Bennington. And Sam, who obviously didn't want to do a show against Ron Bennington, he actually wanted a different time slot. Somehow they put him against Ron Bennington at the same time. So Sam, I think, was getting a little miffed at that and turned to Opie and said, well, at least I'm not doing a morning zoo show. I'll leave that to you.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. So I'm listening to this, and I'm going, I remember the incident.
Right.
Because I remember Opie saying that as a joke. I don't think anybody is under the impression that I chose the same time slot as Ron Bennington. If it were up to me, I'd be on a different time slot. But I don't make time slot decisions. Right. I've been here for 10 fucking years. They said, all right, Sam, we're ready to take you daily. Right. I said, okay, put me somewhere, anywhere. You know, I'm not picking my time slot. I think everybody is aware of that. And even Opie was aware of that. Listen to the clip. This is the actual clip, I think, in question.
Hi, Sam.
Why don't we try?
Welcome to the area.
Sammy starts his show today. When? Noon?
Yep. Yeah. We start at noon
o'clock.
What's it called?
Taking on Ron
Chipper
Bennington.
and Sam show.
Sam came to me and said, I want to fucking take on Ron Bennington. I'm like, are you sure you're up for the challenge? He goes, fuck yeah.
Yo,
This guy is fucking vulnerable, and I want to take him down. I'm like, all right, Sam.
True.
So you could hear me in the background say it's true.
Right.
Because I was joking along with him.
Right.
You know what you didn't hear in that clip?
What?
Me say anything about a morning zoo show. That didn't happen. That was a total fabrication.
Right.
I don't know where this information is coming from, but it's like, you've got this story. It weirded me out so much to hear this story that's like, okay, yeah, that happened. But I'm sitting there and I'm listening to Anthony tell this story, and I'm going, there's no gossip here.
Yeah.
This was just a kind of goofy interaction on the air. And then when he drops the morning zoo thing, I was like, what? Who said that? Anthony continued after that.
Oh my God, this continues.
Yes.
So I then hear Tom. This I heard went out over the air, but here's the juicy part when the mics shut off. Opie ripped his headphones off, threw them on the console, said, "What the fuck was that? Well, you trying to make me look like a fucking asshole?" And everybody in the studio started, tiptoeing on those Greg shells. You know.
I have got to know. He could ask anybody who was in after that clip that I just played for you, Jackie.
Yeah.
Where Opie was like, "Oh, Sam's starting a show today." You know what happened after we got off the air?
What?
I was like, "Oh, thanks for plugging the show. I appreciate it." He was like, "Yeah, good luck, man."
Nice little handshake, maybe.
That was the interaction. There was like literally zero hostility, zero tension. I'm slightly obsessed with the idea that like Ant loves the gossip so much.
Yeah.
Because I love gossip.
Yeah.
But I want to know who is feeding Anthony gossip like that, because when he was here a year ago,
right,
when Anthony was still doing the show, I was the one that was feeding Anthony gossip all the time. I was feeding Opie gossip all the time. I loved all the behind-the-scenes stuff and then gossip.
Yeah.
But now, I'm not feeding him gossip anymore, and it's getting all fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, does it tell you anything that he's talking out of his Long Island basement? I mean, it's not a great start.
I will say this. He is getting a New York studio. That was announced.
Okay.
And he has he's got to have a good audience, because I found out I was getting tweeted about this.
Okay.
But I do think it's funny. And also, just the idea behind it. Like, then I started getting tweets like, "Oh, way to stand up for yourself, Sam." I was like, number one, before that tape that I just played for you, I was the executive producer of Opie's show. So if I was criticizing Opie's show, I'd be criticizing the show that I was running.
Right.
I was the one building the show with Opie and Jim.
Right.
So if I said, "Hey, this is a morning zoo," then I would expect them to turn around and say, "Yeah, well, you're the executive producer of it. Maybe you should have done something about it."
Yeah.
And Opie has like championed for me to get this show more than anyone over the years. And if he really was like, "What the fuck are you doing? You know, making me look like an asshole," or whatever it was that Anthony said, I wouldn't be on the air at all.
Exactly.
Like, it's not like he'd be like...
And Jim was here supporting you. I mean, I'm pretty sure that these guys are you're in their good graces. What amazes me is how it can truly be something out of nowhere. There's people in this room that were there that said this did not happen.
Yeah, Adrian was just looking at me going, "I was in the room. I did not see Anthony, Opie slam his headphones off or anything." Let's go to Tommy. What's going on, Tommy?
Hey, Sam. You know, God love Anthony, but don't you think he might be a shit stirrer? I mean, you know.
That's what I'm trying to... Here's my thing, though. At first, I was like, okay, maybe he's just making some shit up to get to ruffle feathers.
Right.
Which, you know, I've done 150,000 times before. I can accept that. But then this was the end of Ant's clip.
Okay.
So then Sam went off to do his show later on. A show, by the way, that was supposed to have a guest. Greg Opie Hughes was supposed to stop in, because Sam is doing a show from the Lincoln Center studios of SiriusXM, which is Columbus Circle, Lincoln Center around there, which is literally a hop, one skip, and a half a jump from Opie's apartment. Opie didn't show. Didn't show. And you will nary hear a plug for the Sam Roberts Show on Opie Racchio.
Now, that's the other thing. I think he has plugged the show, but this is why I got weirded out.
Yeah.
Because Opie was supposed to do the show on the first day. He was booked to do the show, and then on that day, he called me before the show and had a very legitimate reason for not getting to do it. He's going to do the show next week instead. But he didn't just not show up. But only a handful of people, I don't even remember who I told, but only a handful of people who work with me would have even known that Opie was coming up, because it was kind of last minute. I don't think I announced it anywhere. So there is a person.
There's a leak.
Who's feeding Anthony misinformation.
There's a Long Island compound leak.
Yes, there's something leaking directly to the compound. And then, I mean, Anthony just being like, I heard a story, here it is. And he just spouts it out on the air. I texted him. I was like, "What the fuck where did you hear that from?"
And what'd he say?
He was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just, he didn't really say much."
And
he certainly didn't give up any sources.
Okay.
He did not give up any sources.
There wasn't much source going on, obviously.
No.
But here's the thing. How do you just sit there and say something that you know isn't true Okay, do you think he's sitting there knowing it's not true, or do you think he really believed whoever this source was?
I think he liked the idea of starting some shit, which I can't really blame him for, because I love starting shit with everybody. Somebody had to tell him though, because there's too many details in there for him to just make it up off the top of his head. Because it's not like I called Anthony and was like, hey, Opie was supposed to come in on Monday, but he couldn't make it because I didn't have that conversation. So somebody had to, right?
Right.
Oh, this is controversial. This is controversial.
How do we clear this up? You're clearing it up right here.
I don't know.
We have witnesses.
I feel like Anthony, I feel like you should not be replacing me as a gossip guy because you're getting misinformation. Let's go to some calls. 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. Chad?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man.
First of all, I think it was the Stengel brothers. Information. And second of all, I believe you've got all the fixings for a good old-fashioned radio war.
You think Anthony and me should go to war?
I think so.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Anthony is doing a live show this Sunday that I'm booked to be on. So I will start the radio war when I'm a guest on his show. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
That's sabotage it.
But that's I'm not going to sabotage it. That's the thing.
Sabotage it.
I'm cool with Ant. I'm cool with Opie. I'm cool with Jim. I'm cool with people.
Right.
I don't know why everybody wants to fuck that up. And I don't think Anthony wanted to fuck it up necessarily. Maybe, I don't think Anthony didn't want to fuck it up. I thought he would be okay if it got fucked up. He'd be like, haha, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But whoever is the mystery compound informant is in the business of fucking some shit up.
So that's what you're most concerned about. You want to get in touch with the informant.
Yes.
That's what you want to get to the bottom of.
Yes.
Well, how can we arrange a plan to
waterboarding? That's the only way to get people to tell the truth is waterboarding. And Paul, for tomorrow's show, I need a blanket, I need a bucket of water, and I need you to clear this table off because we're going to find out exactly who did this. Okay, Paul? And I need you to line me up some suspects, too, because right now I don't have any. All right, he's got it. Let's go to Chris. You're on Sam Roberts Show with Jackie Miranne.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Sam. Hi, Jackie. I think it's pretty obvious that the informer is Uncle Paul. He's been hanging out with Anthony at the compound molested state.
I swear to God. I mean, I've only heard Uncle Paul ever talk about touching children, but if he's talking about me, there's going to be hell to pay. I promise you that. Andrew.
You know what they say? GH always says, Opie always says, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Uh-huh. I don't know how that applies.
This isn't Kenny.
Let's go. Let's go. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know how it applies to this story. It's a terrible call.
Just a good life lesson, though. Just in general.
Let's go to Jason. What's up?
That's got to be a work. Anthony's got to be working that.
But how did he know?
He listens, I'm sure. Don't you think he still listens?
Yeah, but I didn't announce that Opie was going to be on the show.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
It just seems like he's smart. He seems like he's smarter than that.
I hope so. Let's go to James.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
So I have the informant. His name is Father Doris. You have to run with this. I'm telling you, that's the source. Father Doris.
I'm going to look into this. Father Doris. Jackie, write that down for me.
Okay. He's from the Philly crew. He's from the Philly crew.
Father Doris. I'm writing it in my.
Let's go to John. John.
How you doing, Sam?
What's up, buddy?
Jackie. Yeah, I remember you making that morning zoo comment on Owen and Jay. So
I've never made that comment
loud on the mic, but I remember it.
I've never said that on the air or off the air. If anybody, please no. But then how come nobody can find audio of me saying this mystery comment?
I don't know. I remember it. That's all I know. I listen religiously. I never really get a chance to listen live. I always listen back on the app every day. But I specifically remember that comment.
Plus,
it was funny. The guys laughed, so I remember that.
I mean, look, the fact that I said something that the guys laughed at is no surprise to me. But I mean, I wouldn't have said that. I don't think that. I don't think it's funny. Like I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have said it to Opie.
Oh no, it was funny. I mean,
all right, well, find it then. Find it and laugh to yourself, and then send it to me.
I like that, though, that somebody can specifically remember something that, it's like either you could put something out of your brain or somebody can create it in their brain.
Right. And say, no.
It could
here's the problem. I remember you doing it. All right. Well, I remember a time when you didn't call the show. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, we need evidence.
Concrete proof.
Exactly. Have you ever been in a trial? I haven't, but I just hear you need concrete proof.
No, you're right. I've been in a lot of trials.
You have? Okay.
A lot. Quite the troublemaker. Let's go to Paul.
What's up, Sammy?
How you doing, pal?
Dude, have you seen the movie The Departed?
Of course
I hope this doesn't play out like that.
Everybody just getting shot in the head?
Yeah, dude. I mean, you got a rat in your outfit, man. There's a fucking rat in your outfit.
That's what happens.
my God.
Everybody goes down, and that little fucking rat just crawls across the windowsill.
That's it.
Who's the rat?
Fucking rat.
Oh, my God. Wait,
Sam.
can I
think
be in
it's
this?
you. I think it's you, Sam.
I'm ratting myself out, and then demanding a discovery of who the rat is.
I don't know. Going over to Anthony's show. I don't know. Maybe you and Anthony got a plan to take down the Opie show. I don't know, Sam.
It's not a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea. It's absurd.
That's not a bad theory, actually.
It's a terrible theory. It doesn't make any sense.
That's why it's a great theory.
Because it's nonsense.
It would throw people off so bad.
Let's go to Gary. Did I hit the wrong button? Yeah, let's go to Gary. What's going on, Gary?
What's going on there, Sam?
How you
I
doing?
think it's pretty obvious that the informant is Opie, because Opie and Anthony always win in the end. This whole thing's a work. For months before the whole Anthony thing, they were always talking about how it's becoming regulated on satellite radio.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony's got a new studio.
Mm-hmm.
I think that two boys got together and said, hey, blow this whole thing up. That's been known to happen in the past.
And I'm the victim?
Well, I think that you're just going to come along when they get back together in the future.
I'm a leader, okay? Not a follower.
Well, you don't have to be a follower, but I think that they're going to have kind of like the Glenn Beck went from a radio to having his own network. That's what I think is in the works here. I think that these guys are too good of friends in reality, despite all the all the on-air hatred. I think they really will never hate each other, and I think this whole thing is a work.
I'm telling you. And you know what? A lot of fans over the years have thought that things that Opie did or Anthony did or Opie and Anthony did were works. None of it ever has been. It's all been legitimate. It's all been reality.
Right.
I don't think that this is any sort of work. I think maybe it's a work between Anthony and his mystery informant.
His rat.
But everybody really wants me to not like Opie, and I really don't have a reason to not like Opie, I'm here with a daily show on Opie Radio.
Right.
Which probably would have had a tough time happening had I not had support from
Opie.
There it was, Jackie. You figured it out.
Even I could put it together, guys.
Putting the pieces together.
I kind of like the Departed theory, though, because...
That we all just end up dead.
Yeah, well, I'm the girl, which means I'd somewhere in there get to have sex with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
Bam!
I wonder who on our crew would be Leonardo DiCaprio. I guess me.
No, I want... Oh,
I mean, I guess, right? That's probably the way it would work out.
The good guy.
Right.
But
extraordinarily handsome.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Ben in Indiana.
The mole is E-Rock. It's simple.
You know what? Maybe you're right, because the first time Adrian thinks of it, the first time Anthony went on the air with some stuff about me that I was like, that's complete bullshit fabrication. He went on the air like a year ago. Maybe not a year ago, because he just started a year ago. But he went on the air months ago, and he goes, Sam is very jealous of E-Rock's show. And I was like, good for E-Rock to have a show, but what the fuck would I be jealous of? Like, he's doing his thing and I'm doing my thing. Like, it's never occurred to me that would happen.
Right.
But maybe E-Rock kind of likes the idea of me being a little jealous of me, it's like, I mean, I don't have any reason to be.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad theory. That's a theory, Bill, that I'm starting to get behind. That I could see.
You're not a jealous guy, though. After meeting you a few times, I could just tell.
Right.
I'm
competitive.
That's right.
But I'm not jealous.
Right.
You know why? You know why I'm not jealous?
Why?
I'm better than everybody. So you don't have what's there to be jealous of.
That's how I think most of the time.
That I'm better than everybody?
Yep,
I appreciate
that you are better than everybody.
That's why you're here, Jackie.
Duh.
Ryan.
Duh.
Duh. What's going on, Ryan?
Yeah, I think it has to be Travis because I remember he would always be telling tall tales out of class.
Okay, this sounds like Uncle Paul to me. This doesn't sound. Let's go to Bill in Kentucky. What's up, Bill?
Sammy Brands, man. I think it's time for the second installment of Sam Roberts' serial that chronicles the story of the hunt for the rat.
Maybe I should do that. Serial number 2, episode 2 will be my hunt for the rat. That's not a bad idea, dude. That's not a bad idea because if anybody can find him, it's me. Mick.
Hey, Sam. Here's my theory. I think it's Fez.
Fez was always behind these things. He was always a manipulator. Fez from the Ron and Fez show. He was always a puppet master. That was always his M.O. Paul, I need you to make some phone calls to Florida after the show today, and I need you to start doing some investigating. Will you do that? He will. He's giving me the thumbs up.
Good thumbs up there.
Great call, Mick. Great call. Listen, there's a lot of stuff to cover today. I want to take a quick break. I want to come back. There's so much to play. There's so much to talk about with you, Jackie Miranne.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't be on a hunt for rats for this entire show. There's so much to do, and we will do some of it when we get back with more Sam Roberts Show featuring Jackie Miranne. Listen, watch the language. Welcome back to Sam Roberts Show with the wonderful Jackie Miranne here every day on Opie Radio starting at noon Eastern. If you've missed any of it, of course, you can go back to SiriusXM.com/on-demand and you can hear it for yourself. If you want to see what Jackie looks like, go over to SR Show SXM on Twitter. You can see the photos. You can follow her at Jackie Miranne on Twitter. So much going on.
Yes. I am loving your people, by the way.
Are you?
Yes. Very supportive.
Are they?
Even with a big toe, they'll support you.
She's got a huge second toe.
And very nice. I like you guys out there.
Wow.
Thanks for following.
Not that many people say that. Apparently, I guess you haven't really been hit yet. Once you really get popular,
I'm going to be...
You'll meet the real people.
Okay, the real coming out of the woodwork, the gossip rats.
Yeah, you won't be as happy anymore.
All right.
Oh, there's still calls coming in.
I'm still happy, though, for now.
There's still calls coming in about who the rat is. I don't want to talk about this the whole time. Did you see, speaking of animals...
Yeah.
You know, Jurassic World...
Yeah.
...is coming out, I think, on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this old photo of Steven Spielberg, and he's sitting in front of a Triceratops, and it's... Believe it or not, Jackie, not a real Triceratops.
It's not.
No, it's like one of the puppets from the movie, but it's slumped over, and it looks like an animal that's been hunted.
Ooh.
And Steven Spielberg is sitting in front of it, and the photo looks like one of those big game hunter photos and everything. Right. And it's been passed around the internet forever. Obviously, the photo was taken in like '93 because it's from the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And it's been passed around forever, and every couple years or something, somebody pipes up complaining about big game hunting, not realizing that it's an extinct dinosaur that's laying behind Steven Spielberg. I was convinced that that's over. Like, that picture has been seen. Number one, the message about dinosaurs being extinct has gotten out there so well.
Right.
Number two, that photo has been seen so many times that this has to be it. Do you know who Joyce Carol Oates is?
I'm pretty sure you're going to tell us.
She's an author. She wrote like a ton of books.
Right.
But she's like a 70-something-year-old woman. And somebody jokingly tweeted out a photo of Steven Spielberg sitting in front of what appeared to be a dead Triceratops. And this Joyce Carol Oates, this was yesterday. She tweeted this yesterday. She wrote, "So barbaric that this should still be allowed. No conservation laws in effect wherever this is." It's like, listen, Joyce, I understand you're a woman of a certain age. Can you find that photo and put it on our Twitter so so everybody can see? Go to SR Show SXM on Twitter and you can see this dinosaur photo. Listen, Joyce, there are no laws on the books about conserving dinosaurs. Mainly because there are no dinosaurs.
They're extinct.
Already extinct. But it's just so funny that they're just consistently...
Yes. Well,
people that will just fall for it and fall for it and fall for it. It's not even a trick photo.
Right.
It's Steven Spielberg.
With a set version of
Like
a
the
triceratops.
prop triceratops.
A prop triceratops. You know, what happens to women when they get in their 70s, though? You can't question them. Like if
Apparently their brain starts to melt.
But they can get nasty, especially if they have something they can swat you with.
Right. And she wanted to, too. You could tell she's really trying to take a moral high ground.
Yeah.
And, like, really say, listen, Spielberg. I mean, it doesn't even look like Steven Spielberg 2015. It looks like Steven Spielberg from 93.
Yeah.
With a triceratops behind him. And there weren't even dinosaurs in 1993.
But you have to respect your elders, Sam.
No, I don't.
No?
No, not when they're, like, idiots. When they're true idiots. Like, fine. I'll respect my elders.
Yeah.
If my elders realize that there is a certain age where everything, not just some things, everything has passed you by. And you shouldn't be on social media, and you shouldn't be commentating on anything. Your opinions should not be public anymore.
Right.
After a certain age, all opinions should be kept to yourself.
Could you imagine I only imagine if my grandma Toots had a.
That's your grandma's name, Toots?
Toots, yeah.
She's probably a hot little number back in the day.
She's a hot little number back in the day.
I'll bet.
Now she's got a lot of things she could swap people with. Walkers, canes, you know,
Right.
She changes it up.
How is
Thank
she for an
God
older
she
lady?
doesn't have
Is she
Twitter.
still, like, okay for an older lady? Like,
She is out of her mind.
she's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well then maybe.
Out of her mind, but she's hilarious. at
Because
the
she's
same-
nuts.
For us. Yeah,
Right.
it's great.
She have dementia?
You want no.
She's just a crazy old lady.
Yeah, like she's with it, but out of her mind with
Right.
it. You know, like so you could laugh at her for it.
Right.
She makes a lot of scenes at CVS. I'll tell you that much. She might have been there talking about a triceratops at CVS. She loves the pharmacy there.
You know, I look at the Twitter and I see this movie director thinking that he can just kill whatever he wants to kill. This triceratops, not bothering a single person, minding its own business in its own habitat. And all of a sudden, it gets met with its own demise because of Steven Spielberg. I don't understand it.
Did she call you this morning?
Yes, we were talking about it.
Sounds very much like her.
Let me go to Mike in Ohio. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, Sam, maybe she's like old like Larry King, and those things were around when she was a little kid. So it's not that far out of the realm of possibility.
Maybe when she was younger. Oh, man, we have some breaking news here. Sorry I wasn't paying attention to you that much, but...
I heard you.
Oh, my gosh, this was fairly unexpected. Triple H just tweeted out that... move that for me. Dusty Rhodes died? That sucks. The American Dream? Fuck, he was literally working at WWE like up until yesterday.
I feel like a lot of people died today.
That Triceratops died a long time ago.
I know that one.
But, yeah, I get Dusty Rhodes died. Let me go to Ryan. Ryan, what's going on?
Nothing good. I just popped up as I'm driving in the car here and saw it, and wanted to call you for breaking news. It's sad. Obviously not cool. I don't know. Triple H has a picture with them, and that's all I'm seeing. I haven't seen anything else, but
that fucking sucks.
I assume you see it. It's sad to hear the passing of Dusty Rhodes, legend, teacher, mentor, friend, love, you dream. # booking ain't easy. So unless someone hacked them, it seems legit.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems legit. Yeah, Dusty Rhodes is like one of the best brains in pro wrestling history. Yeah, Christopher Lee dies this morning. Now Dusty Rhodes, and I didn't think. I mean, Dusty Rhodes, like I said, he was working at the company. He was still he was working with the young guys at their developmental territory and kind of teaching them how to cut promos and teaching them how to book matches and all this stuff. He was kind of teaching the next generation how he wrestled in like the 70s and 80s and was like the hottest thing on the planet.
I have to tell you though, if you're gonna go, don't you want to go like right as you're in action?
Just like that.
Yeah, that's how I'd want to go.
Right, no fade out.
Yeah, I want to be on a set. I want to be on this show with you.
Is that right?
Yeah, talking about Triceratops, and I just want to go out.
Right, and just you don't know what hit you.
Exactly.
Like Tony Soprano.
Bam.
Right, and Journey's playing. Yeah, my God, well, you haven't found anything else about Dusty, have you? Well... We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm sure we'll keep you informed. We'll be live tomorrow at noon here on Opie Radio. Sorry way to end on a bummer of a note, Jackie.
Man, that's it? We're just going to go out like that? Why am I always talking about people dying with you?
Because you are a black cloud over what is usually a cheery atmosphere.
I like to think of myself as cheery, and then
Not
I get
at all.
with you, Sam.
Not at all. I don't know.
Not at all.
I don't know what happens. Well, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow here on SR Show. You want a hashtag on Twitter, that's what it is. SR Show, SXM on Twitter. Jackie, where can they find you?
Everybody, find me and my toe and my black cloud, Jackie Miranne, JACKIEMIRANNE. I like to spell it for people.
Yeah, so they
give them a good spell.
actually get there.
Follow me, guys. I love it. I love your fans.
And we'll be back here at noon tomorrow. Anya Marina is coming in. She is scheduled to have new songs for us. So, yeah. And, shit. Rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes.
Ugh, I'm going to do a dub smash just for him.
Yeah, we're going to read more about this. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Until then, we will see you. Goodbye, everybody.